Hey Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Heather. I'm an intuitive artist, author, animal communicator, energy healer for pets and people, psychic channeler, medium, and I'm on a mission to empower and embolden others to connect with their divine radiant light. It's good to be back with you. We have a little bit of a set change back here. I hope you like it. I just felt like changing things up a little bit. We are moving on in what I'm calling the Radiance Masterclass, where we are exploring the chapters and topics in my book, Hey Radiant Souls, a guide for finding and shining your light. And we are up to the chapter with the weirdest title of all, Expect S'more, chapter 8. So s'more is like the campfire treat, and there's a reason. But when I was pulling that message through as a channeled message, I got the image first, just of a s'more, and expect s'more. And I'm like, well, that's really kind of corny and cheesy. And expect s'more, I got it. But there's a reason why it came through like that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I also want to say, if this gives you permission to go have a s'more, please do. I green light that for you because they're delicious. So the premise of this chapter is to look at s'more and go from there to like a campfire if you're camping out, and then the ghost stories that you might tell around a campfire, and that our fears are or can be equated to that, to the stories that we tell ourselves that make us scared. And sometimes those stories are about limitations that aren't even there. So we'll look at their channeled message in a minute, and then I'll bring through some new channeled messages for today. But when I was thinking about this topic today, what was coming to mind for me was that if you think of cooking in general, so let's say you have the recipe, and we're going to apply this to life. So you have the recipe, you know the list of ingredients, but you still often, like if you're making spaghetti, big pot of sauce, you still taste it and say, it needs a little more oregano, or it needs a little less salt, or whatever. Can we use our fear as that kind of taste test, where maybe something isn't to taste in our life because we fear something? So that means it needs more of this. Like the fear is in essence this illuminating aspect for us. I also see it kind of as like a sign on a highway, or an exit on a highway. You can choose to go explore that for yourself. That's really what the fear is. It's not something that's an obstacle on the highway. It's an option. And sometimes that is the way in which we grow, by facing those fears. Often that's the way in which we grow. So not to see them as scary, like the campfire ghost stories, but to see them as, excitement. I can find something else within myself. I can create something. I can allow this beautiful new part of me to be birthed and born and brought into the world in order to face the fear. And if the fear weren't there, then I wouldn't be prompted to develop this part of myself. So I want to read the channeled message that came through originally back in 2020 when this was written. And I looked at it before I sat down to film, and I hadn't read it in quite a while. And they really went for it with the theme of s'mores. But anyway, hey, Radiant Soul. When your feet are held to the flame and the smoke obscures your view, are you afraid? Do you panic and wonder what else could go wrong? Do you look in the mirror and think, yes, I deserved this? Fear is merely a choice. It's only a campfire tale designed to spook and scare those who will listen. Don't shrink away from the threatening shadows of fear. Instead, pull your sleeping bag closer to the fire, bring on the heat, and forge your strength. Choose to see the fear as excitement. Choose to be invincible. Hold yourself to the flame, stacked like a graham cracker, marshmallow, and chocolate treat. Transformed and improved by the heat of the challenge. Hard shell, crisp and strong. Middle, toasty, warm, and caramelized to delicious perfection. Chocolate dripping with an eased relaxation. Expect s'more of yourself. So I'm not aware of any other teacher out there or channeler who will tell you to be the s'more, right? Like that got really specific there. The crispness of the cracker plus the relaxed aspect of the expansion of the of the marshmallow and the dripping ease of the chocolate. Like, they were really onto something there. So, I just think if that plants a seed in your mind of how you can face fear like that, use it, run with it. Let's check in with the team for some more channeled messages. Hello, bright and beautiful beings. We thank you for the opportunity to speak to you on the topic of fear. We feel that fear is a great and masterful teacher for you. Some of you dismiss it by thinking that it has been artificially inserted into your world by others. We would say it has also been artificially inserted into your world by you. When you view things and allow them to startle you, it is not necessary. And we would also say we do not speak of the type of fear that is an actual physiological or biological threat to you, something that you need to remove yourself from in order to be safe. That is not the fear that we speak of today. We speak of the fear that you wear as an extra layer of clothing unnecessarily. You assume you put it on as a limitation. You let it allow you to question yourselves. And why? Why do you question your own capacity? Why do you question your own strength? Why do you question your own resilience, your own radiance? For you are masters. Each of you is a master. You often look to diminish that light within yourself to stay safe. This is not the time for that, dear friends. This is the time to shine as brightly and beautifully as you can. So instead of saying fear is forget everything and run, forget everything and rise, we would say fear is feel everything and rise, and allow yourself to cast off the cloak of your fear and truly inhabit the strength that comes with that. Truly inhabit the courage and allow yourself to explore what it is that scares you is exactly where your opportunity is to grow. If you are afraid of a challenge of pursuing something, let's say professionally, perhaps that is exactly what you should pursue. And fear is the last hanger on, if you will, that you need to break through in order to achieve what you need to achieve. But it is the building of that muscle of casting your fear aside that then gives you the strength to move forward. So in that way, it is a necessary tool in the construct of your reality because it allows you to overcome. It allows you to step forward. It allows you to rise. So do not see your fear as scary. See your fear as an elevation assistant in that way. We hope that you found this helpful. Be blessed, dear friends. So I want to also share with you the ending paragraph in this chapter, which was me. It's not channeled material. It's something I wrote, but it felt like important information to share today, or the right kind of information to share today. There are times when our light is hard to find. We carry it with us always, but often it fails to bring us warmth. The stories we tell ourselves about our challenges can be the best way to kindle our spark when all else seems dark. So how do you tell your own story? How can you turn your hero's journey from a path of defeat toward one of victory? And I see this a lot too, and maybe you've had this observation as well. When we're having a good day, when we're in the zone, man, we really do tell our stories in the best way, for the highest and best and all the things that we say. When we're having a day of challenge, or we're feeling low energy, or we're not feeling healthy, that looping of how we tell our stories to ourselves, that's also when we will bring in more fear, or will allow more fear to be present in a way that we're not kind of conquering or vanquishing it, but we're saying, oh yeah, that's right, I'm going to shrink back. So just being conscious of, again, the campfire thing and how you're telling your story of yourself to yourself. And that's all I've got today, friends. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye.